no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? It's mailbag time. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the Raiders Report because a little birdie told me we might have a Raiders player join our show, and the only way you're going to be able to watch it is if you hit that big red button that says subscribe. All right, so this first question coming in here is from YD223. Silver and black, baby. Where do you think our defense will rank this year? The upgrade of Bradley has to put us in at least the top 15, right? On paper, top 15, yes. But until it happens, and this is the answer I always give, until it actually happens, I can't say that we're a top 15 defense just because of how bad we were last year. But I do actually think that this can be a top 15 defense. Yes, I do. All right, we got Big Time Willie coming in here. Xavien Howard trade, Damon Arnette, and 2 first-rounders. Would you include Trayvon Mullen? No, I don't really think that that needs to go ahead and happen. I mean, Damon Arnette and 2 first-rounders, I actually think that might be too much to give up. 2 first-round picks for Xavien Howard, that alone should be enough because Jalen Ramsey went for 2 firsts. I'll still take Jalen Ramsey over Howard despite him having 10 interceptions, but Arnette and 2 first-rounders is too much. If you want to do something like Damon Arnette, a first-rounder, and then throw in like a 4th or 5th-round pick, I'd actually probably even do that. All right, we got Nicholas Garcia. The next Raiders president will be Wayne Newton. Viva Las Vegas. I know you're kidding. I'd give that one 0 Chucky heads, but you know what? I'm still trying to figure out who is going to be that next Raiders president. All right, we got one coming in from NFL News Channel 01. Honestly, there was one night after Las Vegas where I looked just like I do in that picture there. It was a rough Sunday morning. I'm excited for our safety group. Seems like the best set with Abram, Merrick, Joseph. Also love the show. Been here since the beginning and can't wait to see President Mitch in the Raiders office. Well, on my Raiders tour, I did get to stand in front of the Raiders media booth. That was really cool. My job or my goal is actually to be able to get there at some point. But in terms of Merrick, Joseph, and Abram, I'm with you. I'm excited to see these Raiders safeties go ahead and play. Merrick's going to be that free safety. Abram finally has an opportunity to be his true box safety self. And then for Carl Joseph, I also know that the Raiders are really excited about him because back in 2019, he was a solid player for us, and he wanted to be a Raider. So if Abram can't get it done in training camp, a story to watch is how good Carl Joseph is playing and if he's going to actually steal some time. All right, what up, Armin? I can't imagine that football is around the corner. I'm kind of with you there, too. Over the weekend, I was talking to Nick Kwiatkowski, Raiders linebacker, and he was like, the fact that it starts in less than a week is super, super exciting, and I'm 100% with you, man. I can't wait for some Raiders football, and if you agree with me, smash that subscribe button. Let's go to Jimmy BEADING. Should the Raiders sign Kawann Short? So it's funny that you bring this up, Jimmy, because Kawann Short actually got cleared today, so that was kind of some news. Short was a defensive tackle. He's about 32 years old, bigger body, most notably known probably with his time with the Carolina Panthers. But he has been struggling with some injuries of late. Here's what I'm going to say to this, right? If you want to go ahead and bring Short, that doesn't mean you're 100% confident in Kendall Vickers, Darius Still, Darius Philon. If the Raiders are confident in those 3 players, then you don't need to go ahead and bring in Kawann Short. So what do you guys think about this? Do the Raiders need to add a defensive tackle? Type Y for yes, or I want you to type your N for no. If you are going to type Y for yes, let me know a player to think about. The only reason why I might go ahead and say Y for yes is because this team did want to have an extra DT. It's one of the reasons why they went out and signed David Irving. Unfortunately for David Irving, he was, well, David Irving, and he just got fat and lazy and didn't really want to work out and be successful in the NFL. Shocking, right? But I do know that Bradley loves to have depth at that DT position. But let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Do the Raiders need to add defensive tackle? Let's go to Michael Rain III. Jon Gruden is the problem. His ego is too big with all his power that he has. Mistake by Mark Davis bringing him back. So I'm going to agree with you, and I'm also going to disagree with you. Do I think that he's 100% the problem? No. But I'm not 100% sure he's the solution. And if you're paying somebody 10 years, $100 million, he better damn well be the solution. And in terms of that money, I do kind of agree with you that his ego is right now too big because he knows his money is 100% guaranteed. And the reason why I hate guaranteed contracts is because how many people out there right now watching the show, your job is 100% guaranteed and you're going to get paid no matter what? No, like that shit like doesn't exist, which is why I don't like when that happens. But I do have confidence in Gruden. I think he's a good head coach, but he needs to take away some of his play calling abilities, I actually think, and take a little bit less off his shoulders. And no disrespect to Greg Olsen, I'd go out and find somebody younger that can run the offense a little bit better. But Michael, love it. All right, let's go to B. Rabe. What is your favorite part or memory from the stadium tour? I don't want to spoil it because you're actually not even allowed to talk about it or take a video of it. But if you've been to the Raiders Stadium tour, when you go to the locker room, they tell you to basically turn off your phone, turn off all the lights, and then there's like a minute really, really awesome part. If you know, you know. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about down in the comments or when this video goes out a little bit later. But that was my favorite part, or just honestly stepping on the field, being on that Raiders shield on the 50-yard line, man. It was really, really cool. Let's go to Tyler M. Bo Jackson for running back coach. I mean, I think Bo would at least be interested in it. I've seen Bo say, like, if he played in today's NFL, he'd have 350, 400 rushing yards a game. I think that Bo is the absolute GOAT in terms of being athletes, right? Like, I think he's the most athletic person I have ever seen, being an MLB All-Star, being the best running back in the NFL. Doing that kind of shit just doesn't happen. But if I'm also Bo Jackson, I'm like, well, how much money are they going to pay me, and do I really want that kind of stress in my life? That remains to be seen. Let's go to Mo Dizzle. Okay, I got you. Yo, Mitch, here's a little help to pay your mom back from the store. Ha ha ha. She was super funny, telling us all kinds of stories. So I appreciate that. Yeah, my mom, she came out to a few different places, and I basically gave my mom like $200, $300 to go ahead and gamble with. And I was like, Mom, anything you go ahead and win, you're going to go ahead and split with me, but because I don't really like to get down like that. But my mom is a really, really funny lady. I know where I get it from, but appreciate the super chat, my man, and I'm glad you had a lot of fun this weekend. It was good meeting you. All right, let's go to I Kneel for One. Mitch, how about Bill Romanowski for Raiders president? What you think? So you're actually not the first person to bring up the name Bill Romanowski. If I was actually, though, going to pick out an ex-Raiders player besides Louis Riddick, the other name that actually makes a lot of sense to me is Howie Long, because the Long family has done so much for the NFL, so much for the Raiders community, so much just for, I think, even his family being able to raise a bunch of not only like good football players, but good men as well, which I think is a good thing to be able to have out there. So Bill Romanowski, I like it, but if I could pick any Raiders player, I'd actually go ahead and say Howie Long. Now, if you guys love the NFL and you want more videos from me, believe it or not, I make videos over at Chat Sports all the time. We're getting close to 250,000 subscribers. I remember the day that we started that channel, and it's kind of a crazy thing to think about. But we're going to be keeping you guys up to date on NBA videos. If you want more NFL trade stuff coming out, because I'm going to be making even more live shows over there as well. Y'all can see the link below. If you're watching this live right now, we'll put it down there for you in the live chat. But it's youtube.com/chatsportstv. Let's go to Randy R29. Now that Melvin Ingram is no longer a free agent, would you sign Olivier Vernon? I mean, if we're going to go out and try to find a edge rusher, I still want Justin Houston. To me, he's the best option out there. I can't even believe he is still out there. In terms of Melvin Ingram, the reason why the Raiders didn't want him, he just wasn't in shape. I mean, that's pretty as simple as it gets. And then in terms of Vernon, I'm going to stay away from him. He's coming off kind of a down year with the Browns, and if you're not playing that well on a Browns defense, let's be honest, they're a very talented group, I'm going to stay away. Plus, Vernon to me isn't a stand-up linebacker type edge rusher that Melvin Ingram is, and it's kind of the player that the Raiders want. He's more of a hand-in-the-dirt style of a defender, and at best, he's going to be, the fourth DE, and I want to see Malcolm Kuhn, so I'm going to say no to Olivier Vernon. Let's go to Cookie Monster. Speaking of Howie, do you see the Raiders re-signing everyone from the 2019 draft? No. I mean, it's simply, I don't know if you can realistically do it. I'm curious to see what they do with Furl because you drafted him number 4 overall. He's probably going to want a lot of money. Jacobs, as much as I love that dude, he plays the running back position, very easy position to be able to replace. And I said it for a long time, I will not pay running backs unless you are just like an ungodly type of running back. But even then, I don't pay running backs. And then for Jonathan Abram, this is a put up or shut up year for him. All right, we got Ryan Decker, $5. Ryan, appreciate you, my dude. Cheers, brother. All right, we got Danny. What up, Danny? I almost tackled my dad after the locker room part. So Danny has definitely been to the Allegiant Stadium tour. It hypes you up, man. Like, it's one of those things where if you don't have, some sort of chills coming out after that, you got to check your pulse because even if you don't even like sports, that part is just such an awesome part of the Allegiant Stadium tour. So if you guys go ahead and get the tour started, tell them you heard about from me. Maybe I'll get another one. All right, let's go to Daniel Keenan. What's up, my dude? A little late to the show, Mitch, but what's the new news on are unsigned rookies. So you're talking about Malcolm Koonce, you're talking about Divine Diablo, both players who the Raiders drafted back-to-back in this past year's draft. From what I've heard is this: they are still not 100% healthy. They both have undisclosed injuries. They were at Raiders OTAs. They just weren't on the field. They were in the back getting work done. But honestly, man, I don't have too much on that. And if I know anything about Gruden, if I know anything about Mayock, they aren't going to talk until they have to. So, but I'm still confident they're going to be out there ready to rock and roll for training camp. All right, Jeff, what up, brother? I keep hearing DC saying Ruggs is a beast, a dog. Think Ruggs will be the most improved Raider this season. So two parts of this, right? Off-season is hype season. So anytime that you see a lot of these people hyping up players, it's just part of it, right? The Raiders, Derek Carr, they all want Henry Ruggs to succeed. They all want him to be worth that number 12 overall pick. He has the talent. You can't deny that. But I also think because of his speed, he shines. And I mean, like, truly, truly shines in training camp because people can't quite put their hands on him. And if you can't put your hands on him as much, he is just going to shine. But I'm hoping that Ruggs can have a total breakout season. That's why I have him actually as one of my breakouts. Now, if you guys are looking for Raiders videos every single day, what I want you to do is hit that big red button underneath the video that says subscribe. If you already watcher of the show, take the link below, youtube.com/Raiders Report. Send it to some friends. I want to get more subs here because as the season approaches, more videos, longer videos, more live videos. We're going to start getting ready for some watch parties. I don't want you to miss it, man, because we have a lot of fun around here. Logan Drexler, do you know Clyde? How high of a ceiling do you think Bryan Edwards is? I guess you mean has. Do you think he can be like an Allen Robinson? I don't see Allen Robinson personally, but Bryan Edwards does have, to me, first-round style of talent. He just needs to stay healthy, and I hate saying that because I'm just like, I say it all the time, but if you watch Bryan Edwards, that dude is an absolute physical specimen. He's not quite like a DK Metcalf, but he's a lesser version of DK in terms of what he can do. So many other receivers just simply can't do because of the size. He's got the speed, he's got the hands. Dude just needs to stay healthy, but I'm not going to put him as Allen Robinson because Robinson to me is a top 6 receiver, but I think Bryan Edwards can be a top 15 receiver. He just, like I said, he just needs to stay healthy. All right, Andrew, what's up, my man? Raiders, the talent is there on defense. We were just hindered by a terrible DC, Paul Gunther, FPG. This team is a contender with Gus. Media needs to stop sleeping on us, going to make them look silly. As far as I'm concerned, let the media, let everyone continue to sleep. Like, that's a good thing. I think that would put a chip on my shoulder as a competitor. I know it puts a chip on a lot of the players' shoulders. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a shit. Like, let them rip on us. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you do overhype somebody, then, if you're like the Eagles a few years ago, Vince Young, Dream Team, and then you suck, that makes you look a lot worse. But if nobody expects anything, and then you play well, that makes you look even better. So, as far as I'm concerned, let them sleep. All right, Jordan, you're next up here on the Raiders Report. If you guys haven't already, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat, easiest way to get on the show. Congrats, Mitch. You are now the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. What would you do, or what you do this organization of the Raiders? So what would I do? I would try to find some other people to help me run the organization a little bit better. I'd actually probably make Jon Gruden just the head coach, and I wouldn't make him the OC. I'd find a new OC. But, Jordan, the only way I'm going to be the owner and president of the Raiders, the owner, shit, I took over from Mark. I didn't even realize that. I misread that. I'd still want to be able to do the Raiders Report on YouTube. Maybe do it on the Raiders YouTube channel and my YouTube channel. All right, here you go, guys. Name a free agent you want the Raiders to sign. I still get questions all the time on IG, on Twitter. Hey, do you think the Raiders could sign this guy? Do you think the Raiders could sign this guy? Even on this show alone, I've been asked, Melvin Ingram something, and I've been asked about Kawann Short. So if you think that there is a free agent out there you want the Raiders to sign, the guy I've been sitting here pounding on the table, knock on wood if you're with me, is Brian Poole. All right, this next one's coming in from Junior Estrada, Richard Sherman of the Raiders. I mean, when I was in Vegas, all this news came out about Sherman, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to stay away from him. I know that it might be out of his line or out of his character of what happened, but as far as I'm concerned, we don't really need an outside corner. If there's all this extra drama, I'm good. What up, Jose? Appreciate the super. You think our O-line will play cohesively? I hope so. I mean, it's definitely one of those things that you've got to be scared about because it is such a young group in terms of Andre James, Alex Leatherwood. Yes, Denzel Good played really solid last year, but he's still kind of an unknown commodity. Can Richie Incognito stay healthy? But I will say this, I don't think it's going to be anything worse than it was last year. And some people might be like, what do you mean, Mitch? Worse? We had one of the best Raiders offensive lines last year. It's actually not true. The Raiders were good in pass blocking, one of the worst rosters in terms of run blocking, which is why they decided to move on from guys like Gabe Jackson or Rodney Hudson. Not that they weren't great, but they weren't worth the money that the Raiders were paying them anymore. But I'm still pretty confident that the Raiders are going to be pretty solid. I don't think they're going to be any worse than what they were last year. Super chat coming in from Ryan Decker. My 5-month-old Raven is a Raiders fan. Can she get a shout-out? Please, thanks for the videos, man. So I want everyone down in the comments to type Raven. At first, I was like, she's a Baltimore Ravens fan, but she's a Raiders fan. So it's all good. 5-month. Hopefully, Ryan, you saved this video for her when she's like 21. And you'll be like, wow, shit, I was on the Raiders report. I don't know how much the show has grown since then, but we'll see. But anyway, everyone down in the comments, type Raven, give her a shout out. Appreciate you, Ryan, for raising them right. Let's go to sickness_5152. Okay, Mitch, this is a role reversal. Oh boy, that sounds just like what I saw in Vegas. Which position battle are you most excited for during training camp? So which position battle are you most excited for? I'm probably going to go ahead and say the cornerback DBs because I want to see if Damon Arnette can be that cornerback 3. I also want to know that it's going to be Mullen and Hayward. I also want to know who the hell is going to play our slot position. If you're watching this live, coming up here in a little bit, I'm actually going to get into some training camp battles to stay tuned for. Does that make sense? I don't know. All right, y'all. If I didn't get to your question, hit me up on IG at Mitchell Renz 365. If you saw me in Vegas, if we had a picture together, I met a lot of people, met a lot of diehard Raider fans. Please send me the photo on Instagram. I want to be able to put them out on the show the entire week. If you want to give producer Jeremy a follow on Twitter, hit him up at JIBeadling. I love every single time Jeremy produces a show for me. He always figures a way to sneak in his Twitter. So if you want to follow Chugs, and the reason why we call him Chugs is because before he even started working here, he chugged a beer on the Raiders Report, and now we call him Jeremy Chug. So go ahead, give him a follow on Twitter at JIBeadling. All right, we got Tyler M. I got chills for the locker room part. I'm telling you what right now, if you know what I'm talking about, I want you to type locker room down in the comments because the Allegiant Stadium Tour locker room part, it is lit AF. What up, Jackson? Who are you more excited for, Gakwe or Merrig? So I think I'm actually more excited to see Yannick Ngakoue simply because even though the Raiders' secondary has been a big issue, I'd actually say pass rush is a bigger issue. So the Raiders are, over the last 3 years, have ranked dead last in total sacks. You go ahead and bring this freak of nature who's had at least 8 sacks in every single year. He's really going to be able to help that rush, but I'm also really excited to see what Merrick can do because he's going to be a very versatile free safety. He's also going to be able to come up, lay the wood, hit some people. The reason why he was my favorite safety is because of all the different things that he can do. I'm excited for both, but I'm going to go ahead and say Yannick. If you guys want to go ahead and let me know, type Y for Yannick or M for Merrick.